Welcome to another series in our videos, Marriage Matters. And today we want to talk about becoming one in a marriage relationship. Perhaps you heard it said that a marriage is made in heaven.
A good marriage.
A good marriage made in heaven. Well, we believe that a good marriage is made with heavenly principles, but it has to be made right here on planet Earth.
With 1 plus 1
equals 1. We're going to explain that in this video. But we got to go back to the very beginning. At least I think, as a Christian, and Barb and I share a Christian worldview, and maybe you do not. That's okay. I would hope you would at least listen to what we have to say today about becoming one as a couple. Because we believe, at least I have a firm belief, that God created a man and placed him on planet Earth. And that's the biblical record. Genesis chapter 2 and chapter 3 go into detail about that. And whether you believe it was a literal 7 days of creation or how God created man, we're very familiar with the theories of evolution and so forth. But I do believe that the psychology behind marriage is very, very important, in that God created a male and female, opposites of each other in many ways, but especially sexually opposite, so that a man could go forth and multiply and fill the earth. And we have kept that commandment. We've broken the 10 commandments, but we've kept this one. Be fruitful. In other words, have children. And may your children have children. And we've done that for thousands of years. But God had a bigger plan than just populating the earth. He brought the woman to man.
And he said, wow.
And man said, wow, look at this. This is great. She is beautiful. And I'm sure Eve was beautiful. I'm sure Adam was beautiful. They were created in a state of perfection. And it was in that relationship, the coming together of a man and a woman, that they were to become one. Now, obviously, that happens in the sex act. When the woman becomes pregnant, she is carrying in her womb a child, an offspring, made up of 22 chromosomes from her and 22 from the father. And then there's the one additional chromosome, the XY pair, that determines the sex of the child. So when our first daughter was born, we literally became one in her, because she carries in her body half of her chromosomes are from her mother, and the other half of her chromosomes are from me. So we became one in her. Now that's kind of a mystery in a way, but that's part of the creation story. Now, man and woman were to become more than just one physically. They were to become one emotionally. Or as the Bible uses the word soul, in the Greek language it's the word psyche, which is the word we get psychology from, the study of the human personality. And so God intends for us to become one in soul. We'll talk about a soulmate. Well, Barb has been my soulmate for how many years?
61 and a half. Almost.
Yeah, long time. And, you know, we are more one today than we were last year. obviously than were 30 years ago.
Because it's a journey to become one.
Yeah.
I mean, marriage is not about just him or just me or it's not about, it's about us.
Well, that goes back to the biblical principle. When God brought Adam and Eve together, he said the two shall become one.
So it's a journey, or it's a life, the longer you're married, it's a learning to become one together in all aspects. That's what becoming one means. You come together in values, in not thoughts, because,
Well, you
his
each have
thoughts are not
individual thoughts, but
when you think of two, he is so individual and he's so unique and he's so, I used to, I've told you I think he was perfect, but he is who he is and I am who I am, but we've come together in this oneness of
a
unity.
couple. We have become a couple.
And we've done it, with our children and in parenting and in your values and even in your hobbies. You're becoming one. Now that doesn't mean you do everything together.
No, obviously not.
Tom used to play golf a long time ago. I've never played golf, but I used to go thrifting with friends. He would never do that, but I don't know. We're kind of together even in those things you do. So it's a way that you manage what you do and what he does, but you're together in all that.
Well,
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, there are some couples, and those of you who are watching probably know some couples like this. When you see one, you see the other. When you see the man in your mind, you automatically see his wife, or when you see her, you automatically see him.
You think of them.
You think about them, and they are such a unit, couple together that's how they're viewed. And we've had people refer to us as the power couple. Now, I don't know what that means other than when they see us, they just know we're together. And but we're not together 24/7.
Well, we are now more, but we didn't.
Since we've retired, that we are, yes. But we weren't that way. But when I was busy in the work world, we were still viewed as a couple, as one. And that's our goal for you as you watch, is that you come to a oneness together. Not that people recognize that. It's unconscious. You don't think about it. It's just something that happens.
But it happens. How does that happen? So,
well, we had, I think it starts out with having shared goals.
And we've talked about that in dreaming a dream. So many of our videos, they all can culminate in this one too as well, because becoming one is honesty and communication and dreaming together, and so there's so many.
Well, it boils down to work, as you know.
Work.
A good oneness between two individuals is work. It's give and take.
And it's give and take. It's 100%.
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
It's never 50-50. It's never 50-50.
You don't calculate that way. I always give her 100%. She gives me 100%.
Because it's always about him for me. And it's about me for him. And if you do that in all of life, whether you're weeding a garden or cleaning the garage or going on a picnic or golfing together or playing tennis, it's about, the most important thing is your relationship. And that's a lifetime of that, and you become one. Parenting, you become one. My kids never heard me say one negative word about their dad.
nor about their mother.
If I thought he made a mistake in disciplining one, I would tell him later, but never in front of the children.
Yeah.
It's just, you don't want to undermine. I never wanted them to think that I thought something was off with him or whatever. So that's an important thing. So we were together in parenting and building each other up. Tom has always built me up and encouraged me. I graduated from college when I was 41, and we had the 4 children.
Slow learner.
Yeah, a slow learner. No, I was a
No, she's a very brilliant woman.
I was a good student, but we didn't do it right. You know,
we raised a family first, and then we, finished our education.
Finished raising us.
Yeah, finished growing up.
So, but he's always encouraged me to be who I was to be, who God had designed for me. So he's encouraged me. I sold cars at one point. I didn't last long.
Sold real estate.
I sold real estate.
Yeah,
he's just let me, while the kids were going to school and I did some jobs, I have never worked much outside the home. But I say that to say he's encouraged me. He loved me selling cars,
Yeah, I got discounted.
No, he didn't. But he's just always encouraged me to be me. And I, of course, from the love language videos we did, one of his gifts is admiration. And I have admired every inch of this man. And he knows that. So all of those things work together to become one.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't say we've arrived at 100%. We're still working. Because, she's an individual, I'm an individual, and we cross paths sometimes, and we have a disagreement, and you have to work through that, and becoming one is a process, and it never ends.
And becoming one, I started to say a while ago, is in knowing how to deal with conflict.
Yeah.
And you learn that, and we had a video on that, so, it's just a matter of working and.
Well, we'd say if you're watching this and you have not listened to any of the others, some of the others are really, I think, will be helpful. We can't keep saying the same thing over and over and over. What we're trying to do is really be an encouragement to couples, whether you've just been married a few weeks, months, years, whatever. We're all working toward a goal. We're in a process, and we believe as Christians that God is a third party in our marriage, and so we work together on a spiritual level too. So we're one physically in our children, and we're not as active as we used to be as sexually, but we are planning on doing a video on sexual relations, not only for young adults, but for seniors like ourselves. It's still a very important part of our relationship.
Well, the intimacy, and we've talked about that, is how can you become one if you're not intimate in all day sometimes, my sweetest moments are just seeing him in the yard working, and I thank God for him, and it's just such a daily gratitude of on this journey of becoming one.
Yeah. So we hope that you will at least glean something from what we share and be able to put it into practice. It's not difficult. It's just, it takes a conscious effort all the time. You can allow little things to separate you, or you can allow little things to draw you together in how you deal with it. And that's what it really boils down to.
Because ultimately, and I've said this on another video, if I could not be here today, I will be 80 years old in less than 2 months.
You didn't have to say that.
Why?
You don't want people to know how young you are.
I'm having a hard time with this birthday. But how in the world could I be here where I am, doing this every day without the history of all the days and all the weeks, walking, struggling, crying, laughing with this man?
It's a journey together, and
it's been a beautiful journey.
Yeah.
And we just hope we encourage you. And you can email me, comment on this video if you have questions. If you would even like a personal, we could probably figure that out, how to do it, So, but if you have questions you would like for us to address, we'll try to do that too.
Yeah.
But we would like for you to subscribe if you've listened this far.
Yeah.
And make a comment. Just make a comment. Comments help others that might read the comments.
Right.
Comments on how you have worked at becoming one.
Yeah, add your helpful comments as well. I think we learn from each other.
Right.
Okay, well, that's about it for today. We hope you have a wonderful journey together as you discover what it means to become one.